in this video, we need to talk about Casper, the exciting proof of work layer 1 scaling solution, which currently, if you invested in Casper over a year ago in October of 2022, you would be up 7,000% on your investment. Is this a project I like? Is this a project I want to be actively adding and holding? This video might surprise some of you, or maybe not. We're going to break it down and a lot more. Guys, you guys have been asking me for a Casper video, and I've been quite reluctant because of some of my views on Casper, but you know, I'm just going to be transparent with you. I'm going to try to open up exactly what I feel about this project, what are the pros, what are the cons, and hopefully you guys appreciate my transparency. If you do, smash up the likes, don't forget to subscribe, check out the links in the description. Of course, make sure you're jumping into our Telegram where I share all the extra alpha, trade alerts, and a lot more. Now, the hype is for real, right? You can see Casper here having a crazy 13% day here today. This whole week, up over 50%. Last week, up over 30%. The week before, up over 20%. And many people are now FOMOing into this scaling solution. So much so that Casper, which of course is proof of work, right, can seen in many ways as a competitor to things like Cadena and Bitcoin, is now sitting just shy of $3 billion in market cap here, putting it in the top 27 here on coin market cap of all cryptocurrencies. We're going to break it down, guys, so make sure you stay tuned. Now, the first thing, guys, for those who aren't familiar, Casper is a DAG. It's a layer 1. It's proof of work. Let's go into some of the, the main kind of highlights. What do they shout about? What are they known for? And why is it that people are shouting about Casper? Apart from, of course, the price being absolutely insane. Because, of course, mainly hype is driven by price, unfortunately, and not the other way around. So what is my job to do when I do my research, when I try to build my conviction, and remember, conviction only stays with substance, is look at the substance, understand what is it that the project is trying to do. And look, Casper's fairly good, and we're going to get into it. So it's a good, solid project, but still something isn't quite right for me, which I'm going to come on to, which of course is the hidden secret. So Casper, it's a block DAG. You can see that. We know it's proof of work, right? So it's supposed to be efficient, supposed to be scalable. And just like a lot of layer 1 scaling solutions, they claim that they've got the answer. They've got the answer to the blockchain trilemma of decentralization, security, and scalability. Okay, so they also say, look, we got good security, we use K-heavy hash, which is a form of SHA-256, which we've seen, and of course a block DAG. Okay, so initially looking at this is, nothing kind of crazy in where I'm saying, oh, this is brand new tech, this is really exciting. Yes, it's a DAG, but we've seen DAGs before. There's nothing groundbreaking in the tech stack here. Remember, we're heading into 2024. There's nothing groundbreaking here in terms of the tech being offered here by a new platform in Casper. We then move on, and yes, they got fast transactions, instant confirmation, scalability, efficient proof of work, security, and block DAG we covered off. But these, again, are things we've seen, right? We have heard about blockchains with really fast transactions. We know about instant confirmations, for example, things such as Silvio Micali's built over at Algorand. And we also know many blockchains which are scalable. So none of this really, which, you're kind of bringing to the table, is new. What is the new piece around Casper, which is leading to a lot of the pumpability in the price here, is the fact it's proof of work. Of course, the price action helps a lot. You're seeing a lot of pumpability. That creates a marketing element which gets people talking about Casper, which is why people may have clicked this video to hear about Casper, because initially the price moves and then people go, oh, what is that? And they start to learn about it. So the price pumping has really helped. But the fact that it's proof of work has been another strong aspect. Remember, this whole narrative right now has been around a Bitcoin spot ETF. And during that same excitement around this Bitcoin spot ETF, we're seeing a lot of other proof of work plays start to move in solidarity, because again, if your consensus mechanism is built on proof of work and there's a history of a spot ETF being approved for Bitcoin, you could argue that eventually you could see a path where your project could get the same type of approval. So that's one of the reasons we're starting to see excitement around proof of work plays. And if you haven't seen my video where I compare Cadena to Casper, go watch this video here where I break down some of the maths behind which one is a better risk to reward. But that's not it. Let's keep going. Let's take a look. This was produced by Casper, remember, so this is from their team. But I want to show you some of the comparisons on offer here between the different blockchains. So if you see here, Casper saying, look, we solve the trilemma. Bitcoin saying we are the store of value. Cadena saying scalability and ease of use. And they're boasting, look, speed is 1 second, block time, consensus mechanism, of course, proof of work, scalable technology, max supply, which we'll come on to on the tokenomics. And they claim to solve the trilemma, right? Now, the bigger thing I want to come on to is this: smart contract capability coming soon. I mean, we're talking about a blockchain here. It's one of my main criticisms really here of Casper, which coming into the end of 2023 and heading into 2024, we've not got smart contract capability. And that brings up a very, very important question, which is, what is the mission statement of Casper? What is it Casper is trying to solve here? Because for me, it seems like they're caught between two different personalities. On the one end, they kind of want to be a scalable layer one solution, right? They want to be the competitor to, let's say, Ethereum, but in that case, where are the smart contracts? And on the other hand, they're kind of saying, oh no, we're more of a currency replacement / store of value Bitcoin competitor, in which case we then have to compare it to Bitcoin, and we see some other issues coming up as well. So we can take a look at the tokenomics, and the tokenomics here are pretty good. I mean, if we're looking at this in terms of not a Bitcoin tokenomics, but if we're comparing this to something like a Phantom or an Algorand, it's good tokenomics, right? 75% in circulating supply, that is good. That means there's not a load of tokens waiting to be dumped. This helps the pumpability of the price, right? One of the reasons I like Phantom, this is one of the reasons you're seeing Casper able to sustain pumps here to the upside, is because their fully diluted market cap is not crazy. It's 3.8, but it is getting pricey now. And you guys need to understand, if you're buying now, you're buying at 2.8 billion. You're buying at a fairly decent rate. This is now top 27. This is not a small cap. It's basically a mid to getting to large cap now here on Casper. So you need to understand what valuation are you choosing to buy in at, and therefore, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to 10x up towards that 28k? In which case, where are you putting it? I mean, if it does a 10x, now you're talking about the market cap of kind of getting into the XRP and Solana realm here, which again is of course possible. In a bull market, it's particularly possible. But again, what are they trying to do? Because they've not got TVL, they've not got use cases, they've not got projects which Solana and many others are working on. So if they're working on being a Bitcoin competitor, my argument then is how is that going to work? Because if you jump onto their thing, onto their founding team, you can see their core developers, right? They're very public. You know who they are. You can see who the founder is here. This Jonathan guy, you can see their key core developers. I think it's quite centralized. I know a lot of the community in Casper say, no, it's very decentralized. Maybe I'm going to get some stick for this as well, saying, no, it's completely open source. I get it. But if you're going into the Bitcoin realm where there was complete kind of transparency and you didn't know who the team members were, that mission was to create Bitcoin as we know it, right? So if you're going up against Bitcoin in that kind of a realm, saying you're a more scalable, better tech-orientated version of Bitcoin, fine. But the whole way Satoshi had launched Bitcoin was a far better way, in my opinion, than Kaspa. I can't see Casper replacing Bitcoin here. It's just not going to happen given the way that it's currently being run and the way it's being run by these open founders here, not like the way Satoshi had done it. So that then parks in my brain to be like, okay, can it compete with Ethereum? Can it compete with the likes of Solana? Can it compete with the likes of Cardano? And again, we're talking about a project without smart contract platform at $3 billion. And I know a lot of you may be shouting down the lane saying, yeah, but Cardano didn't have smart contract platforms. But guys, you got to remember, when Cardano had its crazy valuation, despite having launched the Alonzo smart fork, this was at a time when there were not many competitors to Ethereum. The landscape was very, very different. You had Bitcoin, you had Ethereum, and then people were looking for another option. And that's where ADA came onto the scene with Charles Hodgkinson, IOHK, and people were desperate to put money into it, right? And that is one of the reasons you saw Cardano go to a very high market cap despite not having any TVL, any projects built on it, no DEX, no AMM, nothing. Right? But to do that here in 2023, coming into 2024, when the landscape is very different, I can list so many layer one solutions, good ones. Look at Algorand, look at the tech on Algorand, look at the tech on Phantom being headed up by, Schultz and also Andre Cronje. Look at, we spoke about Algorand with Silvio Micali. We can talk about Emin over at Avalanche. There's killers building these blockchains, Near Protocol. You've got, we can talk about loads of them, right? You've got Avalanche, Near Protocol, you've got Sui, you've got all of these different platforms in this layer one solution space, and Casper is in there. Now, granted, Casper does have a differentiating factor in that it's proof of work, but other than that, how is the tech any different? And I'm not saying this just to bash on them. Somebody educate me, somebody inform me and show me, how is the tech different? And is it really pushing the boundary of saying, you know what, if we're coming in as a new entrant with no smart contracts, it's okay. Forgive us for that because we're bringing this to the table. We're bringing this to the table in terms of different technology and a leapfrog to the layer one solutions you're seeing currently on the market. And for me, I'm not seeing that. So for me, currently not adding. I mean, even if I did want to add this project, I certainly wouldn't be adding here after an immense 5 weeks here to the upside. You guys know I don't like chasing green candles. I certainly wouldn't be chasing this one up at a $3 billion valuation. And look, sometimes the reality is you will miss great projects, and maybe I'll miss out on this project. Maybe this project will prove me wrong and do amazing, but I've got to stick to what my core beliefs are. I've got to stick to what my conviction is. I cannot borrow conviction from you. You Casper people who like this, or you're in the community, you can't tweet me 1,000 times and I suddenly take your conviction and love the project. That's not how it works. I've got to do my research. I've got to go with my gut instinct, and I've got to hold a project, because the reality is when Bitcoin dumps and the market dumps, or we go for a bear market, who's going to panic sell? I will panic sell if I don't have conviction, right? And you may have conviction. You may have done much more research, gone into it, you love it, you know the founders, maybe you have a relationship with the founders, maybe you have loads of money in it, and that's why you're just holding your conviction on it to pump your bags. Who knows? But you may have conviction. And so for me, currently, this is not one I'm looking to actively add. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about Casper? Again, I didn't want to make this video. You guys have been asking me continuously make a video on Casper, so I thought I'd candidly share my views. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to smash up likes. Don't forget to subscribe as always. Check out the links in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.